So this week it is a very special anniversary for the football club. Of course, it's 25 years since Rovers were crowned Premier League champions, and I'm delighted to be joined by one of the key members of the side from that unforgettable season in Henning Berg. First of all, Henning, how are you? How are things?
Yeah, thank you. I am good. I am living now in Cyprus. It's nice and warm. We have a good football team. We are doing well in the league until now, of course, with the coronavirus and the pandemic is for sure as is difficult here as well. We don't have as difficult as in England or in other places, and this is a very strange situation and very difficult for so many people. And to talk about football these days is sometimes hard, because it's, when people are dying, you have people that are getting sick. You see all the people that go into the hospitals and do work every day to save lives and with the risk of their own lives. And then you think of, as in my job, it's very comfortable compared to what they are doing, and this is a very, very special time. And there are so many good people who do a fantastic job to help those who really, really need it. And for sure, when hopefully we can have control of this virus and it's possible to go back to some kind of normality, I think, I hope the society will be a little bit different than it was before.
You're edging closer to a return to football in Cyprus, I believe?
They are looking at it. We just started to train now in groups of 4, so it's not that much, but it's a step back. We don't have that much of the virus here. It's very little compared to the other countries in Europe. You cannot compare it, but at the same time, they take it very, very seriously here. I think it was only 1 week after the first infection. They closed everything. There was a completely lockdown. I've been in my apartment now for the last 7 weeks. And if I want to go to the shops to buy some milk and some bread and some toast, I have to text the government. And then they say it's okay, and then I can go. So they were very strict. The good thing about it is that they seems to have control, and there has been very few people here who have died, and they not had the same trouble in the hospitals with the overload as they do have in other countries. So I think they did the right thing, and now they are starting slowly to open up and to see if it's possible to live with it until we find the vaccine or some medicine that can help us.
So you've had a fair bit of time to think back to your playing days and reminisce perhaps about that season 25 years ago, and what was that season like? How do you even begin to start summing it up?
I was very young then. I came from Norway to Blackburn, my first club. I've been at the club for maybe 1.5 years before we won the league, 2.5 years then when we won the league. And it was a great group of players, with the players more or less in the same age. Everybody hungry, everybody wanted to improve, wanted to get better. Everything was new. We had some older players, but with the good experience. We had some great coaches. Tony Parks and Ray Harford were fantastic with the players to help the players, everything. And then for sure, Kenny Dalglish as a manager with the experience. As a player and as a manager himself, he had the knowledge and the guidance to help us. And I think the whole project with Jack Walker as well, being big part of it, not only financially, but for sure financially, but also the way he interacted, the way he used his ownership towards the players, towards the staff, towards the club. It was in the best possible way. For the team, for the club, for everybody, and it was for us to go through the season, to be second the year before, to then where we actually beat Manchester United in around Easter time, 2-0, and then we could not continue. They won the rest of the games and they won the league. The year after, we were in the big lead, long time, I think from October, November, and then at one time was a big league, and they got smaller and smaller and smaller. And everybody know on the last day of the season, we lost the game, but we won the league, and it was unbelievable.
You mentioned the year before there, 93, 94. Looking back, how important was that for that group of players psychologically to think we can compete with Manchester United? And you mentioned the game at Ewood there when Shearer scored a couple of goals when they were won by a couple of goals to nil. At that point, think we can actually go beyond competing and actually beat them.
Yes, I don't think at that. Yes, we felt that head to head we can beat them, we can match them. Psychologically, that was it was a big thing. But I don't think the characters we had in that team would never think that we could not beat teams in the league. We had a very, very good manager with a lot of experience in Dalglish, and we had some characters and some hungry young, but also very, very good players. You have a team with Alan Shearer up front, you can always score goals. Tim Shearer with a good experience in midfield, Colin Henry as a big strong guy in the defense, and then Tim Flowers all the way at the back. So the spine of the team was strong and with good experience, and it was a well set up team from the manager, and the way he handled it, the way he worked with them, and it was good. I remember we were sitting in the dressing room after the year we finished second, and waiting, and the managers going around. Just there was no celebrations, there was nothing. It was just because normally when you finish second, everybody will be very happy, But Kenny just came around, shook everybody's hands, and said, "Well done, good season," and that was it, So it was. He was happy with what we'd done, but for sure it was not nowhere near what it could have been. So I think that also shows the mentality of what was to come.
Did you sense then coming back on day one of the next season that it could be different and that we could get to that top step? And if so, what changed over the course of that season?
I think the biggest change was that Kenny did not need to say much. This was more what he did. And though the best leaders are like this. And what he did, I think he brought Chris Sutton in after we finished second. Tim Flowers, did he came before or did he came?
Oh, he came before, yeah.
He came before, yes. But I think Chris came in when the year we won the league. So having made the transfer fee for Alan Shearer as a record signing, and then 1 or 2 or 3 years later to go get Chris Sutton for even more money, showed a real intent. It showed that they were meaning business, and that wanting to build a team that is capable of challenging for the league, and that told everybody everything, and it gave a big boost and a big lift, not because there were not other good players there, but because of the length of what the club wanted to do, to show, to strengthen, and to have realistic ambitions to win the league.
Those two, were they quite competitive within each other? Sutton and Shearer, to try and outscore each other and be sort of the main man, if you know what I mean?
No, I did not feel it this way. I think also because Alan was there already established and at a very, very high level. Chris was coming in from Norwich, who had done well there, but he would not like the Finnish article. He was still young. He was still not an understudy, but he was still not at the same level as Shearer. And I think he accepted this. He did accept it, even though he was his own personality and his own character. But he gave us energy, goal-scoring ability, football qualities for sure, that lifted the team, that helped Alan. And I think playing with Alan also helped him. So I think even though they have many of the same characteristics as the players, they were able to play well together because of the way the team was playing.
Did that group just click on and off the pitch? Was that camaraderie there off the field as well as on it?
Yes, it was. It was a fantastic team spirit. I remember when I first came to the club, it was the year before when they finished fourth. I only played a couple of games before I got injured, so I took a little bit of time to adjust. But Gordon Cowans was in the hotel, and I was coming into Duncan Hodge, and he was the experienced player. He's been around in many big clubs. He's Avila. He's been to Italy, but he treated me in the best possible way. He looked, if there was anything, I can always ask. We played the snooker together, and he helped me to settle. And this was my first meeting with the club and with the players, and it was like this for most. Ray Harford was he was brilliant to create an atmosphere of enjoyment, of seriousness, of competitiveness, but where everybody was together. And with the boss as well, Dalglish, the two of them with Tony Parks, they were able to find the right balance for how we were working as a team. And also, like I said, most of the players have not won the league before. I think maybe only Gordon Covens had that before. And even when he brought Tony Gale from West Ham as an old guy, which nobody expected could play at this level for a team who can win the championship, but he proved, and Dalglish proved, that this is also a good signing. He also helped a lot. He played most of the matches before Christmas, before Ian Pearce took over. And it just shows the quality of Dalglish and his football knowledge and how he can fit players in and what he can recognize in the player to make a very, very good team. So he was also a good guy socially. So everybody was mixing well. With Sherwood, the captain, also main guy in this sense to get everybody together. And we did not have players who was going different directions. It was a very, very good team spirit.
I think every time you hear one of the players talk about that group, they will say it was great fun. And there was a bit of mischief at times, if you know what I mean, between yourselves, a bit of banter as players. But when it came to games, it was serious. But do you need that side of being able to relax and unwind and bond together as well as going out on the pitch?
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I don't know too much about the mischief, but no. I mean, young players, professional footballers, who the best thing they can do in life is to play football. There is a lot of pressure, but you have to find ways how you can be together as a team. And with Dalglish, the manager, there was nobody who wanted to try to take more power in the dressing room. There was, with Ray Hafer as a coach, there was nobody who tried to take advantages, because they had the experience to see through it. They can put people in places, but also the group of players was very, very good, very good. And they also gave room for the players, for the responsibility, for them to be together, and they were not like policing everything. It was a very, very good balance.
You mentioned before Manchester United and the rivalry that we had with them, the games against them in that title-winning season. Talk me through them.
Yes, I was very disappointed with the referee at that time. I felt I played the ball. Lee Sharp was chasing me, and they got the penalty, they got the win. I was so happy that we won the league that year, because the year before we beat United and they won the league. So that was the only thing that could rectify these results and this mistake. And for sure, it was tough when they got this result, when they were our main competitors. And I also remember when we played them away at Old Trafford, I think we equalised just before the end, and Tim Sherwood was just pushed the United player, which, looking at the video, it was very harsh. I don't think it was a correct decision. But for us to win the league, even with this decision against us, we were happy to win the league. Yes.
Can you recall any other key games throughout the course of that season? Ones when you look back, you think, crikey, that was really important.
Yeah, well, we played our last home game of the season against Newcastle. I think it was one of the most nerve-wracking games I ever been involved in or played myself or felt myself. Tim Flowers had some great saves. We won 1-0, I think, with Shearer, who scored again after a Lesso cross. But we were under pressure. They had some big, big chances to score and some unbelievable saves by Tim Flowers. And yes, if we'd not won this game, we would not won the league. So it's this simple. And I think going into the final game with a draw and that, then it would have been United completely. They would have won the league, and it would have been completely in a different way. We played the final game of the season, because now the final game of the season, the status was completely different because of the win against Newcastle.
What was that pressure like going into those last couple of games? Because we'd been in the lead and at the top of the table for so long, and then you get down to the very crunch and it gets really, really tight.
Yeah, many matches as well. It was 42 games, through the season. So it was for sure. I think you'd be lying if you said you didn't feel the pressure. You did feel the pressure for sure. You try to during the week. You try not to think too much about it, but try to train and do normal things. And then the closer you get to the weekend, the closer you get to the games, you knew what was coming, and you knew the importance, because everybody was desperate to win the league, having finished second the year before. And also with Blackburn, I don't think the last time they won the league was many years ago, 1912 or 13 or whatever, I'm not sure, but it was a long time ago. And we felt we had a good chance. And when you are in the lead for such a long time and you start to see this lead is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and it was tough. And I think there were pressure, is normal, but and maybe we did not play to our best level towards the end. I do think that the team, the group, they stuck together. I don't think there were too much people blaming each other, or when we did not have the results we would like to do. I think the manager was able to keep the group together, and so we could go forward. And if we needed to win at Anfield, if we lost or drawn against Newcastle, maybe our mentality would have been different for this game as well. Now it was more like, we cannot lose, and we don't want United to win. It was one of them. We were also looking a lot to what is happening in the other game. I think sometimes it's easier when it's clear that if you win the game, you are okay, and that is the only thing that matters. Now we could lose the game, but we could even also win the league. So from a mentality point of view, going into the match, it was very difficult.
It was great drama on the day itself, but when you're playing, can you get a sense of all of that, and how aware were you of what was going on in Manchester United's game?
I think we just focused on the game, but as soon as the Redknapp scored that goal on the free kick, of course you were really down, but it was only for 2 seconds, because then our fans started to celebrate, and then we knew that the game in London was over. United had not beaten West Ham, and we were the champions. So it was rest of the game. The next few minutes, I don't think anybody played any football, but it was very strange to go from that letdown and to that big celebration in a few seconds. It was very dramatic.
Can you describe that feeling at the final whistle when you know the league is won? What it's quite like in that instant?
It was, to be honest, you don't really. It's very difficult to put into words your exact feeling in the seconds you realize that you have won the league, because then it's more about the joy, the excitement. It's more about the adrenaline that is just pumping, and yes, we have finally done it. And then when that starts to wear off, it's more like an unbelievable relief as well. But it did take some time before this happened. It was more later after, because you were still on adrenaline, you were still celebrating, you were still like this was the biggest thing in our lives so far, and it was the biggest thing, So it did take quite a long time before this adrenaline to go away, and then you go like, yes, we were able to do it.
To have been part of that journey from, you mentioned coming in and the side finishing 4th, 2nd, 1st as well. Did that make it a little bit more special for you?
I don't know if it made it more special. What made it special for me is that I really felt part of a big team, a good team, with good friends and teammates, and a very, very good group in a city, a small city with family atmosphere, with fans who supported us, who followed us, who was not used to this success, and the atmosphere that brought You know, when we went away and we had our fans, the way they were singing, you can feel the energy they had and the positiveness. It was like something that was special. That was very, very special. So, and you did, being 20, I don't know, 24, 25, something like this. And then at that age, you are a football player. You don't think about the rest of the world in the same way as you do when you are 50. So it was an unbelievable emotional time, but also an unbelievable good time. Maybe some of the best times I've had as a player, to be in that environment and also playing every match. Because I went to United later, I was part of a big team there as well with a lot of success, the treble and everything. And I played 100 matches for 3 years. But at Blackburn, when we won the league, I think I played every game apart from 2. I was sick in one game, and I think I was suspended for the other when I got the red card. So I felt more part of the team than I did later. So for me, this was. I don't think it's possible, to be honest, to have it any better.
Or is it sort of difficult in some way to compare from your time at Manchester United to Blackburn, or when you look at them, do you think you have a favourite title win, if you know what I mean? It's a nice luxury to have, being able to pick one of a number of title wins, but can you have a favourite in that way?
For me, there is no doubt that what we did at Blackburn in '95 is above in terms of league wins, Premier League wins. Is the best. This is the first time. It's with a group of people you've been working with for 2-3 years. An unbelievable environment, and playing all the time, being a regular player. It was by far the best. You know, to be part of the United squad, winning the treble, the Champions League, the FA Cup, and the Premier League, for sure, it was also fantastic. This was my best period at United at that time as well. So it was unbelievable to be part of that. But I was not playing every game at United. At that time, I played most of them. But before that, I did not play everything, and not even after. So my time at Blackburn, being my first team in England, being where I learned the most of my football, playing with some fantastic players and some fantastic people, having some great coaches and some great people to teach me and to learn me and for me to develop, and to feel this success with us being number 2 was fantastic. To be honest, when I played right back in the year we finished second, I looked back and I felt all the games was just like everything was flowing. I felt so happy, so comfortable. I did not think about it. Was very, very good. When we won the league, there was more pressure towards the end. But as a player, you still felt that you were in the flow. You still felt that you were able to use your qualities within the team, and the team was like this, and it was a great time.
What was part of the beauty of that title win, the story behind it, i.e. Jack Walker, and a fan of the football club, putting money into the football club, seeing it develop, bringing in Kenny Dalglish, bringing in players, and then seeing it all culminate in winning the Premier League. The whole story behind it is it's just incredible.
Yes, it is incredible, and when you are there yourself, you don't think too much about it, because one thing, you don't know what will happen, and then the other thing is that when you are involved and it just happens, you don't have the experience that I have now, and not so you don't think too much about it then. But when you look back, you understand that it was very, very special. It was. I don't think I'm sure every team will probably say yes, we won the league, it's special, but if you look at what happened at Blackburn for that time, with those people, with Blackburn as a city, with the history of the club, with the Jack, with Kenny, with Ray, with the players, with the success, I don't think you can beat that.
Does it feel like 25 years since that day at Anfield?
Not when we talk about it now. when I start to go out and run, it will feel like 50 years ago. But no, it's I don't think anybody will forget these memories. I think some like I said, sometimes things you forget, but these things it's not possible to forget.
And not just memories from that spell at the football club for you as well, because on 2 more occasions you came back to Blackburn. The first time when you returned sort of under Graham Souness as a player again, what was it like coming back to the football club?
It was the club was the same. The environment in terms of the fans, the training ground, these things were more or less the same, I think, even though they made an upgrade for the training ground. And the atmosphere was also more or less the same, but the team was different. There was a completely different team, a different manager with a different mentality and a different way of working. And the team was also in the championship. So I think now being one of the teams that were looking to go up and having the ambition to come back into the Premier League, for sure, after everything that happened in the years before, I did feel that there was something starting and something positive going on, because Blackburn were also trying to bring good players back in to get the promotion. It was, and we had a good team. You know, we had good players, and it was a possibility. It was realistic to make the promotion back to the Premier League. Everybody knew it would be very difficult, because Championship is not easy to get out of, not at that time either. But with the investment that the club made, and also with the players they brought in, I think we felt it was a possibility. Yes.
When you came back, you were one of the experienced players then?
Yes. And
did you have to look after the likes of Dunn, Duff, Janssen, keep them in tow?
Especially Dunn, yeah. No, he's a good lad. You know, he's a super talent with the great qualities, and he had this modern type of football where you have this power and you have this skill, where he can actually just go past by, like Wilshere could do before he got injured, and he had also this mentality that he always wanted to improve. He also wanted to make a statement. He always wanted to do something, which was very good, because if you are wanting to win the league, you cannot be safe. You want to be offensive. You need to think forward. You want to dominate, and he had this mentality as well. So it was a good group of players. We had some experienced players as well, with Gary Flicker up the captain as well. Brad Friedel's coming back as well, and fantastic goalkeeper. So with Matt Jansen up front as well, you know, he was a top talent as well. So, you know, the way he scored his goal, the way he ran for the team, the way he worked, it was very, very good. So it was a good mix of players as well, and I think. Yes, for us to be promoted that season, it was also great memories.
The parallels between the sort of the team spirit from 94-95 and what we saw in that promotion season as well.
Yes, it was very good team spirit. I don't know, maybe it's easier to make a good team spirit at Blackburn. I don't know, but it was good. It was, to be honest, the players that was there, they were coming from different places. Some of them have been there longer than others. I only come back. I've not been away for so long and not too far away, so I knew people. But it was a good group. And again, we also had a good captain in Flickroft, who was instrumental to make players come together, for them to be together as a group and as a team. And he was a good leader on the pitch, and also in the dressing room. So it was. I think, yes, it was a well put together team with different characters, personalities, but also mostly that we had enough football quality to win most of the matches in the championship.
To get promoted was obviously brilliant and important for the football club. Did it then sort of exceed your expectations to go win another major trophy in the following season at Cardiff?
Yeah, I did not think that we would win the league or the Premier League or the too many cups when I went back to Blackburn. I went back because I wanted to play more than I was able to at United, and my time at Blackburn before this was fantastic. Even if they were in a championship, I still think it was possible to go up to the Premier League, and we did. And then when you are in the Premier League, just to be able to play in the Premier League with Blackburn at that time, for me, it was a big success because we did not have the same finances that time. It would not be possible for us with our budget to compete to win the league. But we could be a team that could stay in the league and have fun and have good results. Beating West Ham 7-1, for instance. This we could do. Not every time, but we could do it. And beat Burnley in the promotion is also good. Fantastic. Those in the promotion time to beat Burnley 2-0 away, it was an unbelievable feeling.
That was a game, by the way, wasn't it?
We come to the stadium an hour before the game, and it was full. It was packed. And the noise during the match was unbelievable, and for us to win it was even better. And then when we played them at home and to win 5-0 in the hot day, it was great fun. It was unbelievable. And then to also be promoted made that season one of the better seasons as well. It's difficult to compare things, but I think for the club, the importance, but also for the players to be part of a promotion, to be part of winning is something you will never forget. And then when, like you said, when we get into the Premier League, and then we were able to get to the final against the Tottenham in the League Cup. And you see these days how Liverpool and United and Arsenal celebrate this League Cup now. Like this is a massive thing, and it was a massive thing for us as well. I think in that time, when before you get to the quarterfinal, maybe semi-final, then it starts to get close, and you realize this can be something big. And then for the final, for sure, everybody go 100% out. And it was not a bad Tottenham team we played that day. And we did have some issues because we had many players out. Gary Flickrow could not play, Craig Short could not play. And there was one more. Who was this?
Two-guy.
No, Two-guy did not play. I don't think John Curtis could play either.
No.
Because Tiny was playing right back in that game.
Lucas Neal couldn't play.
Lucas Neal, sorry, yes.
Yeah.
And Lucas Neal was a good right back. So we had 4 good players out. And we were playing Tottenham with with Sheringham and Ferdinand and Sige and all the good players. It was, for us to win 2-1, it was a fantastic day.
Was it a penalty near the end? Did you catch Sheringham?
No.
Do you remember it?
No. It was never a penalty.
Spoken like a true defender there. When you look back at all those things, you think of the Premier League win, you think of the promotion, you think of the Worthington Cup and so many other memories. That decision that you made to come to Blackburn worked out so well, and how big a part in your life, your playing days, first of all, did this club have? Is it still special to you now?
For sure. I was there for 7.5 years in total. And to be part of these 2 teams and to be part of this success, to be honest, because it was for Blackburn, in the history of the Blackburn, to win the league, to be promoted and to win the League Cup and to play in the Premier League for these years. We even played Champions League group stages, but we don't want to talk too much about that. But no, it was fantastic, and it was so much more than I could ever dream of and hope for when I was a little kid running around in the schoolyard or with my friends to play football.
Have any of those great memories of the football club been tainted in any way by what happened in your spell as a manager at the football club? But when you look back on that, does it still frustrate you, the events of your time in charge?
My playing time at Blackburn is not been tainted by with anything, nothing. because that was different. And when I came back as a manager, how could I say no when they wanted me to come after being there for 7.5 years? It's not possible. I knew it was a big risk to come because there were many things within the club that was not what it should be like. Many things, and I knew it was a big risk. I was hoping to have some time to change and to adjust and to find a team or a way to get promoted again after being relegated from the Premier League. It wasn't to be. There's no need to go into details for this. But for sure it was. I knew it was a big risk, but at the same time, from my experience from Blackburn, from what I had before, it was not possible to say no. And even though I was only there for 2 months, I felt honored and I felt proud to be the manager, even though we have big problems, and even though I would have liked to stay there longer, to make sure that to try to make it possible to have a team that can compete to get back into the Premier League. It was not to be, and I have to accept that maybe it was a little bit too early for me as a manager. Maybe I did not have enough experience. Maybe I did not have enough knowledge of the league, because I came in the middle of the season and I've been working with 2 different teams in Norway in a different league, and I did not have enough knowledge about the league to make the change immediately, because I needed more time to adjust to things, and you did not have that. At this time, it was not possible. So this was for me. I would have liked to see if it was possible to make the changes, but at the same time, I have a lot of respect for the club, for the fans, for the history, and it will always. When I think of Blackburn, I will always have good memories in my head.
You're such a big part of that history as well. So what will you be doing on Thursday night when it's the actual anniversary of the title win at Anfield?
I don't know. Maybe I have a good glass of wine. I don't know, and try to sit in the sun here in Cyprus and to think back and wait for our season to start again.
Well, I think we're going to put it on YouTube. So if you want something to watch, you can do that as well while you're enjoying your glass of wine.
Yes, very good, very good. It's great memories, and to be honest, I think I'm not sure if I've seen this match again. I saw the League Cup final against Tottenham. I saw 2 weeks ago when we had some more time because we would not play, and a friend of mine sent it to me. So I wanted to see how it was, and yes, but we know the results, so it was some great memories.
How is it watching those games back? When I saw the League Cup final, I was pleasantly surprised by the level. I expected to be a little bit lower level than I thought it was when I watched the TV. I thought that the challenges and the tempo and the intensity of the game was high. There were some. Yes. So it was a tough game against a good team, and yes, we were the underdogs in that game. They were the team that expected to win. But the way we played, the style of the team, I think it was correct for this game as well. We were more like the counter-attacking team in this game, and with Matt Jansen and Andy Cole up front, they did cause Tottenham a lot of problems. And no, it was an open game. There are many things we could have done better, looking now as a coach. But it's good to see the intensity and the power in the game. This was good. I was going to say, do you watch it with your manager's hat on? Are you sat there thinking, oh, you should be here, you should have done that? You find criticising yourself almost, thinking I should have been there at that point.
Yes, yeah, you do. And also with how we did different things with the team play. These days, you are expected to do more. You are expected to be better than this. But at the same time, I think the mentality, the duels, the second balls, the intensity and the power in the game, I think it was there. And So and some of it actually surprised me that it was so physical and so strong and so yes, but it was very good to see.
You mentioned that you're managing again in Cyprus. So you're enjoying your football again now, and you've got a couple of Rovers connections with you there as well.
Yes, you know, after Blackburn, for sure, it was difficult for me after 2 months there, and this was such a big job for me, and something I really, really look forward to when I started. And I honestly thought it was possible for me to make a difference. And when I was not able to do and not allowed to do, then it knocked me out a little bit, I must say. It was a difficult period after this. And then after, I think it was 10 or maybe 11 months, I got the Legia Warsaw job. I went to Poland. And we won the league. We played in Europe. We beat Celtic 6-1 on aggregate, but got thrown out because the player was not registered in the right way. It was a catastrophe, but we were playing Europa League group stages. We did really well. So for me, then I was back to feeling happy with the football, to work with the players, to win football matches, and to be successful. This helped me mentally a lot. And then after that, I was there for another year, and then we went to Hungary in Videoton actually, and it was a good season again. And then so I've done different things, and now I'm in Cyprus, and we have a good team. We are getting good results. We are developing the team. The players are getting better. The team is better. So for me as a coach, as a manager, this is what I like the most to be in this position, when you can see something getting better and you're having success and winning more matches than you lose. At the moment, we are number one. So hopefully we can stay there when the season starts up again. And if we win the league here, we will play Champions League qualifications next year, and that would be something special. If not, we will probably play Europa League qualifications. So it's good to be involved as a manager. Now it's more like a head coach because we have a sports director. But yes, I am happy with my football. I'm able to work in the way I would like to do as a head coach, and I have people I'm working with that I'm happy with. And when these things are there, then from a professional point of view, I'm very happy.
Matt Derbyshire and Jordi Gomez, they doing okay for you? They pulling their weight?
They are experienced players. Matt is still scoring goals. He's our top scorer with 12 goals. So, okay, he's not the youngest anymore, but his movement in the box is good. His finishing is good. And he's got a good mentality, good match temperament, and he's a good lad. So he's got a good background from Blackburn, so this is good. And for sure, Jordi as well, he has a good experience. He's playing in central midfield, and the way we play, I think, suits him. So to make sure that he can use his strengths, and we can cover the small weaknesses. But no, he's a good player, and he's a good guy first and foremost. He's one of the leaders in the team. Both of them are, to be honest. So I am happy that as a head coach, you have players like this also, because they have a good experience, good understanding, and yeah, we have a good cooperation. And so far, it's been very, very good. And if we can finish this season the way we are doing now, then it will be fantastic.
Do you think, we mentioned all the things that you've been involved in with the football club, that there could be another chapter at some point in the future?
Where?
At Blackburn. Do you think, or is it never say never? Is that the phrase?
Yeah, in football, you should never say never. And I am enjoying my football life now. I've been working now as a coach for, I think it's 15 years now. So as a head coach or a manager, so I'm building up some experience. But I'm enjoying myself. This, and I have this enthusiasm. There is nothing I like more to work with than just to go on the training pitch, work with the players, or to have them for matches and for games and to win football games. This is what I like. This is what I need, and for sure, the most important thing is for me is to be happy where I am. If it's this level, who knows? But in the future, this is difficult to plan. We know there's no need to make 5-year contracts. This is for sure.
Well, Henning, I'm glad you're enjoying life again and being involved in football again, and do have that glass of wine on Thursday night and, you know, reflect and think about that amazing season in 94-95. It's been great to speak to you.
Thank you, and good to speak to you, and it brings back many good memories, so it's even better now. Thank you. And I just want to say all the best to Blackburn as well for the rest of the season if it starts up again. It's good to see that the club is stabilizing now. And I'm sure that the club, the environment of the fans and everybody around is similar to what it has been, because it's a good family club, and I wish everybody all the best of success in the future.